Wars are won on the battlefield, or so you might think. But other than the damned warp spawn, Imperials have to think about supply lines and economics. Have you tried hitting with the Basilisk without a decent spotter? Masters of ordnance like Thaddeus Noble are the eyes on the battlefield, spotting for batteries of long-ranged weaponry nested far from the front lines. Wherever they direct their gaze, a rain of exploding shells is sure to follow. Hi, it's Tacticus, and for a lot of my early game, I loved Thaddeus. He's got high damage, doesn't even need to see his enemies, and that sense of superiority. What's not to love? Well, he kind of got old. Respectable for a soldier to reach his age, but what I mean is, he got outpaced. Now he returns to glory with his rework. Looking at him, he doesn't cut an imposing figure. An old man, standard guard equipment, and only a single las pistol? Well, he's got that huge backpack filled with communications arrays to call the artillery, which we'll only ever see in form of the shells hitting his enemies. Thaddeus is a rare character that you can get hold of by farming his node in the Fall of Cadia campaign. He's one of the necessary characters for Fall of Cadia Mirror, so most people will add them to their collection rather sooner than later. As an unremarkable guard soldier, Thaddeus had the least health among all characters, while being increased by around 30% and now only being in the 7th last space. Now he can at least outlast Certus and Sybil. All others that have that low health have some other means of defense, like coming back to life or having a personal bodyguard. As this clearly would have been too powerful, his armor has consequently been decreased by 20%. Whereas before, he was already below average, lost points bring him down to the 11th worst space. Still better than some of the frailer fighters, but Thaddeus, despite his love for them, is himself no tank. Defensive traits? Not here. He can equip a defensive equipment, otherwise it's all crit. This guy is all about throwing a haymaker. First off, you can safely keep him back. There's frontline fighters and there's Thaddeus. He has 3 moves, mostly to run away, and the indirect fire trait, meaning he doesn't need to have a direct line of sight to his opponents to hit them. His considerable range of 3 makes him easy to hide behind other combatants. Hide him out of line of sight and out of enemy range. His shooting attacks suppress the enemy, slowing them down and cutting their damage, making it less likely for them to reach him or kill him. This can of course shut down Overwatch, and as some notable characters like Rivers are mostly dangerous while overwatching, this will make them stop. With his 3 hits of blast damage, he can shut down swarms, but it only has a 15% PS ratio. As such, against infinite armor, he might only hold a below average place of 26 with his shooting attack, less than Chiron without any buffs. But against no armor, this man is almost without pierce in a strong place 1. So yeah, if you get him to attack low armor targets, Thaddeus will shine. His active prevents him from moving, and chooses an enemy to pepper with 5 shells of blast damage. Each shell hits for around 2/3 of his normal attack. At first, this is very inaccurate. 3 will either hit the hex you targeted or any of the surrounding hexes, with 2 more shells hitting the ring of hexes around those. But for each round of the battle that ended, one of those will always hit the target. This starts with the most inaccurate shells. As all of those suppress the enemy, you can either use it to blanket suppress a large area of enemies around 1, or wait for a big hit of all 10 hits for more than 3 times the damage of a normal attack. The first round attack may be interesting, but it's pretty luck dependent. It can, if it hits as you want it, carry you some levels of Fall of Cadia Mirror. His passive, Spotter, before would just add some damage to heavy weapon characters within 2 hexes. Now he buffs every ranged attack in 2 hexes, and if a heavy weapon unit is affected, it increases it even higher than before. You don't even need the heavy weapon bonus damage applied for it to count. With some new and potentially great characters like Chiron in the mix, who also have a lot of hits to profit perfectly from it, those two will be best friends going forward. Well, see, Thaddeus needed a buff bitterly, and this rework, while subtle, changes him from predominantly a damage dealer to still just as good of a damage dealer with great buffing power. The buff to a heavy weapon character is slightly higher than Eltion's buff, while for normal ranged attacks it's around half. This could work great in a potential ranged guild raid team, but it seems like at this point the damage just isn't there yet compared to the traditional guild raid teams. This could always change though, I feel we're on the verge of it. His thin defenses pretty much prohibit him from use in horde modes. In legendary events you won't use him for this, as you've got enough ranged only characters and 3-hit characters. He is the only indirect fire character, and Las equally isn't possible at 2 characters. For Blast you are almost forced to take Thaddeus, as there are 6 characters only for both possible tracks, and Suppressive Fire, yeah, you need the old man to do it without Xenos. If you're stuck in arena against Rivas, he is cool. When Rivas dominated Tournament Arena, he was the perfect counter. But not only are there more characters now that can do this, but also is Rivas not really relevant in Tournament Arena anymore. In his campaign, the Master of Ordnance is a requirement, and among his fellow Astor Militarum, he is probably the best to invest in. At least he does great damage and can kill enemies left and right. Just see to it that Kut stands between him and the foe. It's not like Thaddeus is bad, but he's an absolute glass cannon in a world where there's damage dealers with similar numbers that can actually survive the counter. I still like him, but there's little reason to invest beyond his use in his campaign, for which you can take him to Gold 1 if you enjoy him. With the plethora of good Imperium characters, for allies you don't need him that far though. If you've liked my review of Thaddeus so far, you can support my work by subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't used a referral code yet, you can use mine, Bert60edu, for 100 Blackstone for you and various rewards for me. Thaddeus, among his other non-named characters in the Astor Militarum, can equip the Relic of Lost Cadia, a defensive relic, buffing health and armor. Off to a good start, those are the better ones for most characters anyways. It gives Imperial summons Final Vengeance, which could be a cool interaction with Trier's Riders, and will also work well with Tan's Skitarii. The Guardsmen, of course, are the intended target. When an equipped character dies, they immediately summon a Guardsman in their hex. Sounds unimpressive, but at the first step it is pretty much just as good as the Diamond 1 Mythic 1 Thaddeus. It's one of the worst relics, as it doesn't give him another role that he usually has, and isn't exactly powerful either. Yes, you get another Thaddeus, but one you can't even target and which doesn't have abilities. And can run away. Stay clear if you're still waiting for other relics. Let's try to solve Thaddeus' Mythic Missions. Most reworked characters get easier, as they're not changed. But with Thaddeus' offensive prowess staying exactly the same, it's not true here. Part 1 needs you to defeat 4 enemies with the Suppressive Fire trait in one battle. Fall of Cadia Mirror Elites Havocs have this trait, as does Folk, so you need to defeat those enemies in Battle 24 to fulfill the first mission. Mission 2 needs a generous 10,000 damage, which should be doable against low armor enemies, like a very high Snotflogger in Arena, or just go to lower level guild raid bosses to fulfill this easily. Killing overwatching enemies for Mission 3 basically comes down to grinding Fall of Cadia Mirror Elite against Havocs again. As it is overwatching and not with the trait Overwatch, you need to kill them before they attack. You outrange them, so this is easy enough, but will take a few battles. Mission 4 wants you to kill 3 enemies that are suppressed in one turn. You will need support from other suppression characters here. And you need to be fast, as your active will only hit multiple targets in the earlier rounds. Defeat counts fleeing enemies, so this is technically possible in Onslaught too. Take Burkhardt to suppress 3 Tyranids, try it with your active, and if the RNG isn't on your side, you can just try to make them flee easily after. If your Burkhardt is not strong yet, you could also try it in the Octarius Mirror campaign by letting the field fill up with Grots, shooting them and then using Thaddeus active to make them flee. Hide both behind a shield of more durable fighters and you can try until you succeed. Lastly, it's off to deal more damage again, which is fine and will go by fast enough with the attack power Thaddeus sports. This is Thaddeus, overshadowed, risen up again and somehow still not quite there yet. Do you enjoy the old man? What else could have helped him? Tell me in the comments. On screen you can find some more of my videos, if you want to spend more time with me. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.